All right, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, May 9th, 2022. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I want to go take a look at the higher time frames to really briefly take a look. So, if you remember back to our annual chart, for a while there, we were holding above 50% of last year and bouncing back up to come test the all-time highs again. But as you can see, over the last few weeks here, we've gone ahead and continued to trek lower. So we're now pretty appreciably down below 50% of last year's price action, and looks like there's really no end in sight to this sell-off right now. Let's see if the quarterly chart has anything else new to note, and not really. What I will point out is there's plenty of room down below here, right? We have the 38 retrace all the way down at 37.70. That's going to be another 200, 300 points down just to get there, and then a 50% retrace of this push up from, let's see, this was the May 2020 lows all the way up to the all-time high is down here at 34.50. So plenty of room down below to come down and still kind of not be out of the weeds for potential, bullish market, right? We're not done with the pullback. So let's go down to our monthly now and take a look. You can see last month, the 50% of last month was up there at 43.53. And so far, the month of May, we have not even made it up to get even close to tagging that area. And obviously are on our way down, like I've been saying. So not really much else to mention here other than the obvious fact that we do have a huge wick to the upside here. And if we end up closing down at the lows, we're going to have a pretty bearish looking monthly candle there at the end of the month. On our weekly, let's see if there's anything to mention. Obviously, last week's bar there, huge bearish reversal bar, right? Bearish engulfing reversal bar right there. Encompassed all of the price action from the week before it, and then went ahead and closed, or at least pushed down to make much lower lows, and then closed a little bit lower than the week before. So not looking good, right? Everything here is obviously just bear, bear, bear all the way across the line with absolutely no indications for a bullish argument, right? We don't have any type of nice, clear bullish divergence. We don't have any type of nice, clear bullish reversal bars. There's really nothing that the charts are giving us an indication for any type of follow through on the bullish side. On our daily, coming down here, the only thing I notice is if we don't continue to sell off here, we might end up having a bullish divergence on the daily. So that might be the first time frame. Again, we have to wait and see what happens today, and we have to see how this candle closes. But if theoretically, if this was to close right now, we would have a lower low on price, a higher low on RVI, and we would have a bullish divergence argument from the low of today. Remember, we have to wait for this whole day to close, but we did see a couple days earlier. Remember, we said this on the morning of the 3rd, looking at the previous candle on the 2nd there. We had a bullish divergence from down there and a nice reversal bar. We did get that bounce out, right? So from May 3rd, we did end up pushing from 41.50 so we pushed 150 points higher. But then obviously the bears jumped back in, pulled things back. So we'll watch this morning. If this ends up closing the way it looks right now, maybe we'll get some type of attempt by the bulls to jump out. But that's all I'm seeing here on the daily. Obviously still way below 50% of Friday's price action. And that's basically it on our 4-hour here. We're now breaking down into this new structure zone below 40.80. And remember, we have 40.80, and then the next major structure zone was down there around 4,000. I believe we have it at 4,004. And then a little bit deeper than that, the next major structure zone isn't until we get down to that 39.50. And I believe it was 39.55, 39.50, and 39.45 down there. So those are those major structure zones that we're playing around in right now. And let's go down to our 60 minute and look at what levels we want to deal with here coming into the open. Now, here's the deal. We have been pretty messy over in this part of the chart. So all of the stuff going on up above the current market price is pretty messy, right? If you remember back to the last, what was this? Back to Friday, all this up and down chop over in here. And then if you go back to a few days earlier when we were trading in that area, it was just a whole bunch of up and down chop. So I'm just warning you that if the bulls get strong this morning and somehow push up through the previous daily low, push up through our holy orange power level, and can get back through 4080, we are pushing right back up into that area of major chop. And it's basically, I don't know, let's see, basically somewhere around 4090 up to about 4150 there. It's just a total mess. So I just want to warn you that, that is what we're pushing up into if the bulls have that strength. And let's take a look here. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. We've got, again, our daily power levels here holding right below the previous daily low. And then our orange power level here at 4071.75. A little bit further than that, and we get into the retracement of the previous daily high down to our overnight low, right around our structure zone at 4080 there. So basically 4078 to 4080, 4079-ish, right in there. And then a little bit further up, there is a retracement right around 4092. There was a major swing low that I put on the chart here at 4090. Let me get the number. 4099 quarter. However, if you notice, the overnight high was 4099 even. So we essentially came right into that swing low and failed in the overnight session. So we haven't been back up to retest and get through that. And if the bulls are able to do that this morning, we do have this pocket here where the final retracement level for the previous daily high to the overnight low is sitting right here at 50% of the previous day, and our minor structure zone 4107, 4108-ish, and then obviously the close from Friday sitting there just a few points higher at, I believe it's 4111, 4110.75. And again, I know it's a lot of shit, but that's just what we're dealing with due to all this stuff going on over here. So right through the close of Friday brings us into the larger retracement level. So if you zoom out and look at the entire leg down, that major retracement level is sitting here at 4135. The major structure zone is at 4142, which also lines up with a major swing. And then we're up to the high of Friday, right? So there's a whole bunch of garbage in here. It's just kind of super stacked. And like I've been mentioning here, everything's pointing to strength for the bears. So if we do end up pushing up into these levels, I'm very skeptical of any type of bullish breakout. Just like I told you back on May 5th, the morning of May 5th, I was skeptical of the attempt by the bulls to break out. And then on the morning of May 6th, very skeptical of any type of breakout. Same thing this morning. There's really nothing pointing to a major breakout for the bulls. However, like I say every morning, anything's possible. So I could be completely wrong. We do have a little bit of some bullish indications from the overnight low. So I could be completely wrong, and we could get some type of 500-point rally. And if that is the case, then we have all of our levels here that we can parry off of on pullbacks, right? So I think that's basically it for the upside. I don't know if it makes sense talking about anything past the high of Friday, just because I don't really expect us getting through there. Just keep in mind that the major structure zone is up there at 4,200. And then these two pockets that we've been watching, I think on Friday we talked about them, are still valid as potential stronger resistance levels, somewhere around 4240 to 4243 and then right up into the major structure zone around 42.56 into 42.60, 42.62. So those are the two pockets I'd be expecting resistance if the bulls somehow get through this whole sell-off from the end of last week. So let's look at the flip side, and to be perfectly honest with you, there's not much to mention down here that's new. If you guys were here last week or the week before that, I believe we talked about these levels. So it's kind of just feels like Groundhog's Day sitting here mentioning everything over and over again. But let's take a look. We've got 4023 as the minor structure zone. Again, that 4000, 4004 area is the major structure level. And then from there, that opens us up down into the next major structure zone, 3945, with those two minor levels surrounding it. And then it's down into 3914, 3890, 3845, and the next major structure zone down at 3822. That's going to bring us, what, just about another 220, 250 points lower. Very easy for that to be achieved in this kind of market, but I think that covers everything to the upside and to the downside that we need to be aware of this morning. And finally, as usual, getting up through the orange power level would be a good clue for the bulls. However, we still have to get through 50% of Friday and that high of Friday before I have any type of faith in jumping in on the bullish side. So have a great day. We'll be back on Thursday. Hopefully this helps you lay out and map out what you want to do this morning. And like I said, be careful up in this region between just about 4090 and 4150, maybe even all the way up to 4200. This whole pocket right here is just a whole bunch of chop. So have a great one. We'll see you on Thursday. Take care.